squad, I want to welcome you back. Hey squad, I want to welcome you back. Today we are talking about reselling. Alright squad, so I know that it would be way more catchy to say my 5 tips or my 10 tips, but I typed them out and I had 7, so we're going with 7. So I want to get into talking about reselling. Now in a video that will be coming after this one, I'm going to be talking about specifics, about what I listed, what sold this year, what sold this month. But right now I want to talk about what I've learned so far. This is a process and it is a business, and like anything else, it has a learning curve. So I've compiled a list of 7 things. Obviously there are way more than 7 things to learn about the reselling industry, but this will give you a good foundation. First off, if you are new here, my name is Kelly and I love to go to yard sales for fun. No one makes me, I do it on my own. I do this so I can support our family, both by shopping affordably and shopping secondhand, but also so that I can source items to resell. So if that kind of thing interests you, then please make sure that you hit that red subscribe button. It's right down there below, and you can hit the red bell so you get notified every single time I post a video. I am working towards growing this channel as well as my Instagram channel, which is Yard Sale Squad. So if you would please give me a follow on Instagram and subscribe here, I would love to have you be a part of this squad. Okay, let's just go ahead and get into the tips because there's a lot here. So my first tip is to pick a platform or 2 and stick with it. It can feel really overwhelming when you start. You have Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, that's just to name a few. And it can feel really overwhelming. Where do I list? Which one is the best? And I don't know that there's really a right answer. I think it's just whatever you feel most comfortable with. I currently list in 3 different locations. I may want to rein that in a little bit and eliminate one of them, but right now I list on Mercari, eBay, and Facebook Marketplace. My experience with Poshmark is very limited, but what I found was that it felt very involved. You had to reach out to other people, you had to request to be part of parties and events, and it just felt to me like a lot, especially because the platform is mainly clothing and I wanted to be able to sell more than that. So that is why I gravitate towards the other platforms. I know eBay is huge and has the largest audience. I haven't listed as many things on eBay just because I feel the listing process on Mercari is easier, and that also may just be because I don't know enough about eBay. Also on eBay, you have to choose between the options of buy it now or auction, and sometimes I just don't know which one is the best. If you guys know anything about eBay and how you prefer to list your items, then please leave me a comment down below. I would love to have some good discussion in the comments about this. Facebook Marketplace has really started expanding because you can now offer shipping. So I do offer that, but I also use Facebook Marketplace as a place where I can list large items, things that I don't want to go through the cost or the hassle of shipping. I can just list them on Marketplace and then meet someone or have them come and pick it up. So that's number 1, pick a platform or 2 and stick with it. Number 2, I want to talk about stocking your inventory. The cheaper that you can stock your store, the more profit that you're going to have. It's just basic math. It's not very hard. And this is coming from someone who does not identify with math as their strong subject. If you are new to this and you don't want to invest a lot in the items that you're buying and turning a profit, and you don't really know what their value is, the thing that I would recommend you do, number 1, is to source your house. Examine your closet, examine your kitchen, examine your kids' closets. What things have you not used this year so far? It's possible that you have some real money-making items right in your house, and if you sell them, you're not out anything. Once you go beyond that, my favorite place to source is yard sales. Of course, I know that's no shock, but think about it. Think about your local thrift store. I know my local thrift store for adult clothing charges $3. Some thrift stores charge $5, $6 for a shirt. So if you compare that to a yard sale where you might get a shirt for 50 cents or $1, that's a pretty big difference as far as what you are investing in that piece. And of course, our goal here is to invest a little and make a lot. So whenever you are sourcing items, I would recommend go to a yard sale. Now, this is just a side note to that tip. If you are unsure when you come across an item if it is valuable or not, then use the sold feature on these apps. Actually, on all 3 apps that I use, you can do the sold feature. So you're not looking up a kitchen appliance or a piece of clothing or a home decor item and looking to see what people are listing it for. You're actually seeing what it's sold for. And that gives you an idea of how you can fairly list your item. Number 3 is consistent listings. This is possibly the most important tip on this whole list, and it's something that I've really been working on this month, and I'll talk about this more in my video where I talk about what sold, but I started out really strong in May, and then I sort of slumped because I wasn't as prepared as I should be. But if you can list consistently, both in frequency and volume, you're really going to see a difference in your sales. I reached out to another reseller that does this for a living. That is her full-time gig. I asked her what is her frequency of listing and what is the volume at which she lists items. And she says for her full-time business, she lists every single day, and she likes to list from 5 to 10 items a day. Now, if this is a side hustle for you, like it is for me, that sounds like a lot. And it is a lot because you have to think about storing these items, pricing these items, shipping these items. It's a lot. But she said that when she jumps from listing 5 items a day to 10 items a day, she sees a huge increase in her sales. I can attest personally that whenever I've been listing consistently, it's actually helped some of my older items sell better. It's just something about the way that the algorithm works, that whenever you're posting new items, it's circulating everything in your store and it's bringing people into your store. It's the same way if you think about posting on social media. People are likely not visiting your page if you're not coming up with new things to share with people. But if on a daily or weekly basis, you're coming up with things to share with people and doing things in new and different ways, you're going to be pulling people in. It's just sort of the way that it naturally works. And it is the same way with reselling. So if you can come up with a schedule and stick to that schedule, you are more likely to see success. Tip number 4 is to have a small goal in mind that you set whenever you start reselling. My favorite way to do this is to assign those funds to a sinking fund. If you don't know what a sinking fund is, it's just whenever you have a specific goal in mind for that money and you're putting it aside for that. I talked about this more on the Yard Sale Squad Instagram page last week. Seriously, if you guys don't follow me, you should head over and do it. Did I say that already? But I talked about my goals last year versus this year. Last year, my goal was to resell enough to cover the costs of going yard selling. I think that is a great way to do it. So that way, every time you go yard selling, you're just looking for a few little things that you can list and recoup your costs. This year, I am setting aside the money in a separate fund and I'm putting it towards our beach trip this summer. It's fun to watch that account grow and to know that it's happening directly because of your reselling endeavor. So my advice would be to open a separate account so you can watch that money grow and you know exactly what's happening. And if you feel so led, put it towards something specific. Put it towards a trip. Put it towards something for a child, something that you've been wanting for yourself. I think that that is a great motivator. It's definitely been a motivator for me. Sometimes just working and just making money can feel a little bit daunting. And if you're not focused enough, it can feel a little bit unmotivating. And so this has been a real way for me to try to stay focused. Number 5, take measurements and photos of your item as soon as you get home. I mean, as soon as you get home. I'm working on this one for sure. It is hard to come in on a Saturday after you've done yard sales and you've got kids waiting on you and things that need to be done. But the sooner that you can take photos and measurements of those items, I just take the photos on my phone and then I jot the measurements down in the Notes app. The sooner you do that, then you can go along with tip number 6, which is store all of your items in one place. Things have gotten a little crazy in our house recently. We have piles and piles of things that I have accumulated from yard sales. Either I haven't stored them, I haven't done what I need to do to fix a little thing here and there before they're usable, or I haven't listed them. Or maybe I've listed them, but I haven't put them in the same spot. When you come in with a new item to add to your inventory, take photos, take measurements, and put it in a central location. My 7th and final tip is to watch and learn from people who know more than you do. On any given topic, there are going to be people that know more than you. Thank goodness, right? What did we do before the world of YouTube, where we can just Google a question and automatically get an answer, or get so many different people that have inputs about this? I've been trying to make it a point on a weekly basis to educate myself about the reselling business. So I'm going to link a few channels down below that I have been following. Some of them I've been following for months, some of them are very recent. But it's really inspiring to me to watch people do this for a living, for a side hustle, whatever it may be. And it really just encourages me to keep going. All right, guys, and those are my 7 tips for reselling for beginners. I want you guys to comment down below and let me know which tip you found most helpful. I also want you guys to comment and let me know, do you currently resell, and is this something that you might be interested in doing? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and leave me a comment, and I'll be talking to you soon.